Justice Unveiled, the final chapter in the Fabio Sementilli murder case, Part 3. A twisted tale unfolds. Welcome to Ontario Cold Cases, Canada's true crime podcast. In this week's Historical True Crime Tuesday, we're diving into a case that crosses borders, blurs the line between glamour and greed, and unravels a betrayal that shocked two nations. Fabio Sementilli was more than a hairstylist. He was a global icon, a mentor, and a beloved family man. From his humble beginnings in Toronto, Canada, to his rise as an international beauty industry executive in Los Angeles, Fabio lived a life that seemed untouchable, until one January evening in 2017. Fabio Sementilli's life was a masterpiece of creativity and kindness. His brutal murder in January 2017 left a gaping hole in the lives of those who knew and loved him. Fabio Sementilli's murder shocked the world, not only because of its brutality, but because of the web of betrayal it revealed. In Part 1, we learned about Fabio's incredible life and tragic death. And in Part 2, we uncovered the investigation that exposed an affair, a chilling conspiracy, and the shocking involvement of Fabio's wife, Monica, and her lover, Robert Baker. Now in the final chapter, we take you inside the courtroom and beyond, where justice would be sought for Fabio, and new revelations continue to emerge. The trial begins. The trial of Monica Sementilli and Robert Baker was one of the most anticipated courtroom dramas in recent memory. The prosecution laid out a compelling case, piecing together the months of evidence collected by detectives. Their argument painted Monica as a mastermind who orchestrated the murder, motivated by financial gain and her desire to start a new life with Baker. Baker, portrayed as her willing accomplice, executed the plan with ruthless precision. The trial began with the prosecution presenting key evidence, forensic findings that tied Baker to the crime scene, incriminating text messages between Monica and Baker, and Monica's internet searches about staging a robbery. The life insurance policy, valued at $1.6 million, was highlighted as the central motive, with prosecutors arguing that Monica had seen Fabio not as a husband, but as a financial obstacle to her future with Baker. The defense attempted to portray Monica as a loving wife caught in an unfortunate situation, claiming she had no knowledge of the murder plot. Her attorneys painted Baker as a sole perpetrator, alleging he had manipulated Monica and acted out of his own desperation. Meanwhile, Baker's defense leaned on his cooperation with investigators, portraying him as someone coerced into a plot he later regretted. Key testimonies and evidence. One of the most impactful moments of the trial came when Baker took the stand. In chilling detail, he recounted the events leading up to Fabio's murder. He described how Monica recruited him, promising they would be together once Fabio was out of the picture. Baker's testimony included damning details about their planning sessions, during which Monica allegedly outlined Fabio's daily routines and provided access to the home security system. Forensic experts provided further clarity on how Baker was tied to the crime. DNA samples taken from the patio railing and a bloody fingerprint on a garden tool matched Baker's profile. Blood spatter analysis indicated that Fabio had been attacked from behind while seated, consistent with an ambush scenario. Shoe prints recovered from the scene matched a pair of sneakers owned by Baker, linking him directly to the patio where the attack occurred. The planning of the crime was methodical and cold. According to Baker's testimony, Monica had meticulously planned every detail, including instructing Baker to study Fabio's routine. She provided him with a schedule when Fabio was most likely to be alone in the patio, as well as access codes to the home security system. Digital forensic evidence corroborated this, with logs showing Monica's recent changes to the security system's settings to allow easy access for Baker and the unidentified accomplice. Monica also provided logistical support, reportedly purchasing gloves, dark clothing, and a knife used in the attack. Text messages between her and Baker revealed chilling exchanges, which they referred to the plan as our chance to be free and the perfect solution. In one particularly damning message, Monica reassured Baker, once this is done, we'll have everything we ever wanted. Up next, the attack and its aftermath. The attack and its aftermath. The night of the attack was described in harrowing detail. Baker and the unidentified accomplice parked several blocks away to avoid detection. They approached the home on foot, entering through the unlocked gate Monica had prepared for them. As Fabio sat in the patio reading, two men launched their ambush. Fabio was struck from behind with a brutal force, the initial stab wounds aimed at incapacitating him quickly. However, Fabio fought back fiercely despite being overpowered, sustaining deep defensive wounds on his hands and forearms as he struggled to shield himself from the onslaught. Neighbors later reported hearing muffled sounds of a struggle, though none initially suspected foul play. The patio was left in disarray, with overturned furniture and blood spatter marking the scene of the violent confrontation. The attackers fled in Fabio's Porsche, abandoning it in an industrial area, miles away to stage the crime as a robbery gone wrong. In the hours following the attack, Monica called 911, reporting the murder with what first responders described as an oddly detached demeanor. She claimed to have discovered Fabio's body upon returning home from errands, an alibi that detectives would later find riddled with inconsistencies. Monica expressed shock and grief during initial interviews, but avoided answering specific questions about her whereabouts or her knowledge of Fabio's routine that day. As investigators dug deeper into Monica's alibi, they found glaring discrepancies. She initially claimed she had been shopping at a local grocery store. The receipts provided by Monica showed timestamps that conflicted with the estimated time of the attack. Surveillance footage from the store revealed that Monica had spent less time there than she claimed, leaving an unexplained gap in her timeline. Furthermore, phone records placed Monica near the family home during the critical window when the murder occurred, contradicting her statements to detectives. Her behavior during questioning also raised red flags. Detectives noted that Monica often deflected questions about her movements and focused instead on tangential details such as the stress of managing household finances. She failed to provide a coherent explanation for the discrepancies in her alibi, repeatedly stating that her memory was foggy due to the trauma of discovering Fabio's body. However, this excuse rang hollow when compared to her calm and measured demeanor during the 911 call and subsequent interviews. Revelations of a jailhouse affair. During their incarceration, Monica Sementilli and Robert Baker continued their relationship, a fact that prosecutors would later use to bolster their case. Jailhouse letters and recorded phone calls reveal the ongoing affair between the two, showcasing their bond and alleged mutual culpability. In one of the letters presented in court, Monica expressed longing for Baker, writing, "It kind of hurts to not be touched or loved by you." Baker in turn reciprocated her affections, often referring to her as "my baby." Prosecutors argued that these communications demonstrated an unbroken connection and pointed to their shared guilt in Fabio's murder. Recorded phone calls further solidify the prosecution's narrative. In one call, Baker reassured Monica of his loyalty, stating, "I love you, baby, I really do." These exchanges paint a picture of two individuals unrepentant about their alleged roles in the crime, further undermining Monica's claims of innocence. The evidence of their jailhouse affair became a critical component of the prosecution's argument, showcasing the pair's continued closeness despite the gravity of the charges against them. For the jury, it underscored the calculated nature of their actions and their determination to maintain the relationship, even under the shadow of a murder investigation. Up next, the arrest of Christopher Austin. The arrest of Christopher Austin. A significant development came in October 2024 when authorities arrested Christopher Austin, 38, in Washington state. Extradited to Los Angeles, Austin was charged with murder and conspiracy to commit murder in connection with Fabio Sementilli's death. Prosecutors allege that Austin was present at the scene, played a direct role in the stabbing, acting alongside Robert Baker. Evidence presented during Austin's arrest indicated his involvement as more than just an accomplice. DNA recovered from Fabio's clothing matched Austin's profile, further implicating him in the crime. Witness accounts described a third man leaving the crime scene with Baker, a description that aligned with Austin's physical appearance. Phone records also linked Austin to Baker in the days leading up to the attack, suggesting coordination and planning. During questioning, Austin reportedly provided critical information that added a new dimension to the case. According to sources, Austin gave up the name of a fourth individual, someone whose involvement could further implicate Monica Sementilli. This individual, described as a facilitator or silent partner, is alleged to have helped orchestrate key aspects of the crime, from planning the attack to ensuring the escape route was clear. Austin's revelation has intensified scrutiny on Monica's role, as prosecutors work to connect this fourth person to the broader conspiracy. While Monica continues to deny any involvement, the revelation of another possible conspirator sent shockwaves through the investigation and raises new questions about the depth of the conspiracy. The verdict and lingering questions. After weeks of testimony and arguments, the jury began deliberations. Tension in the courtroom was palpable as everyone awaited the decision. Monica Sementilli's trial remains ongoing as delays caused by legal maneuvers and the COVID-19 pandemic have postponed the final resolution. Meanwhile, Baker, who pled no contest to first-degree murder and conspiracy charges, has already been sentenced to life in prison without parole. As for Christopher Austin, his trial is expected to shed light on his exact role in the murder and the significance of the fourth name he provided to investigators. Could this individual be a previously unknown accomplice, or someone who holds key evidence about Monica's alleged involvement? For now, the identity and role of this fourth person remains shrouded in mystery. The legacy of Fabio Sementilli. The murder of Fabio Sementilli left a deep scar on all who knew and loved him. While justice has brought some closure, pain of betrayal and the loss of a man so deeply admired remain. Fabio's legacy lives on in the lives he touched, and the inspiration he provided to countless individuals in the beauty industry and beyond. As we close this chapter of Ontario Cold Cases, Canada's True Crime Podcast, we're reminded of the fragility of trust and the devastating consequences of greed and ambition. Thank you for joining us for this 3-part series. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast to stay updated on future episodes as we continue to uncover Canada's most compelling true crime stories. Leave us your thoughts and theories, and let's keep the conversation going. Stay safe, stay curious, and we'll see you next time.